The difficulty of the path you are on right now is the very thing that gives it value. The harder it is, the more valuable it is. Next time you tell yourself, this is hard, remind yourself, that is exactly what gives it value. I often get asked with, especially the style of training that I do, and that it's every day. And they're like, isn't there easier ways to do it? Yeah, there certainly would be. There would be simpler ways to do these things. But the value is in the difficulty. The value is in the overcoming the struggle. That I think more and more, so much of our society is built around what is easy, what is simplest, what is, the easiest way that I can get around doing the work that is required. Well, the whole point is that the work is required. That's the thing, that the work is required. And a lot of the value, a lot of the growth and the benefits that you will gain come from the difficulty of doing the work, not from the outcome. The one I keep coming back to, and I think more and more, and the more I spend time on it, the more I think it is true, is that this is more about the personal development. It's more about the growth and the man you become along the way, rather than the results on the physical aspect. Yeah, if we were just talking getting a six-pack and, or just shredding some weight, losing some unwanted body fat. There are many ways to skin that cat. There is 1,001 different ways to do it. But this isn't just about losing a bit of body fat. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, the greatest version of yourself. It's about building discipline and fortitude and grit and determination. It is about shifting into a better version. That is what this is about. So yeah, it's meant to be difficult because you gain the results, you gain the perspective, you gain the fortitude and the ability to overcome from the difficulty of it. That's the whole point. It's what separates you. It's what puts you into the 1%, because the majority will not undertake that level. They will not undertake those things. They will not do that work. So that's what you must do. The value is in the effort. The value is in the difficulty. The value is in the overcoming. That's where the growth comes from. That's where the greatness comes from. It's not from, getting a six-pack or becoming a fitter version. Those are nice benefits. The benefits are this, being fit, strong, healthy, gaining confidence from having that body. But the true benefits, the personal growth and the development, comes from the work. It comes from the overcoming. It comes from doing things that others won't, and then being able to do things that others can't. That is where the growth comes from. That's where the value comes from. Undertaking a task so monumental that the majority of people would never be willing to take it on. But you are. You're willing to. You're willing to push forward. You're willing to see who you can be. You're willing to take that challenge. And that's where you gain the benefits from. So, yeah, chasing greatness is all about the personal development. But, it's disguised as a fitness program. Because so much of, I suppose, personal development these days is about easy and comfortable and gentle and, read this book and tell yourself that you're fucking amazing and, suddenly your whole life will change. No, you've got to go out there and do the thing. You've got to live as if you were already that man. And so going through that process, through the fitness component, builds you into that man. Because you're a man of your word, you're a man of discipline, you're a man who has said that you are going to undertake this task, and then you show up every single fucking day to undertake that task. Rain, hail, or shine, no matter how you feel, no matter what has gone on that day, you show up and you undertake that task. It's part of why the first, tenet of it is the weighted walk. Because the weather doesn't give a shit about how you feel. The weather doesn't give a shit about, what's going on. It's just going to do what it is. And then you have to in turn not give a shit about the weather and just show up and win the fucking day. Show up and get that done. So it doesn't matter what obstacles are thrown in your way. You are learning by action that you just get it done. That if it's pissing down with rain, if it's snowing, if it's 1,000 degrees, you're out there getting the work done. You are putting credit in the bank every single day that you're a man who keeps his word. You're a man who does what is required. You're a man who shows up and wins, no matter what has been thrown at you. That's the purpose of that. It builds that character within you. Same with the weights. It teaches you the most valuable lesson of all. And I think the squat is always the example of that. No matter the load, no matter the burden, no matter what has transpired, you stand the fuck up. You squat down, you handle that load, you handle your business, and you stand the fuck up and keep moving forward. It's that simple. And then it transpires into things like the animal-based diet. So all you're going to eat is meat, fruit, and sweet potato. That's it. And so what does this teach you? It teaches you that you have to make definitive choices in life about the things that matter most to you, about the priorities and what is truly, truly important to you. Because, you could continue forward. You could just dip out and no one would ever know. Or you could hold strong to it. Or you could do the things that matter. And you can go out in situations and make better choices. There are always ways to continue, living in society. Because I get people who question me and they're like, but how do you go out? Well, just choose the right things. Pretty much everywhere, and I mean fucking everywhere, is going to have a steak as an option. Or something along those lines as an option. So you fucking choose that. And just eat the steak. And just have that. There are ways to do it if you so choose. There are ways to still participate and enjoy your social life and all that kind of stuff and get it done. I saw a guy the other day who was talking about it, and he was like, 2 workouts a day. No, can't fucking do that. It interferes with my social life. And I'm like, well, you've just clearly stated what your highest priorities are. It's not being the best version of yourself. It's not pushing forward. It's not continuing to strive or, optimizing your time frame. It's choosing your social life. 45 minutes a fucking day. But 1 in the morning, 1 at night. You can still socialize around that. It is still very fucking doable to work your job and fit that in. It just comes down to the priorities that you have and the choices that you make. So make better choices. Drinking 4 liters of water a day teaches you that things that seem minute, if not planned and made conscious decisions about, will fall through the cracks. It teaches you that if you don't actively make the right choices, it can be a giant pain in the ass and it can derail everything. Because 4 liters of water is a lot. And if you're getting to the end of the day and going, shit, I've only had 2, and then you're trying to chug 2 liters of water before you go to bed, oh look, suddenly you're up all night peeing, or you're really uncomfortable, or you forget altogether. Because you didn't make that a priority. You didn't go, this thing matters, therefore I'm going to put it in and document when it's going to happen. That's that thing. And then the same goes for the daily photo. And this has twofold. That one, it's really easy to overlook. It's really easy to skip that. and skip the little things. And if you skip too many of the little things, all of a sudden you're skipping all of the big things. Suddenly the big things don't work as well because you decided to skip the little things that you thought didn't matter, that you thought weren't a priority. But also it teaches you that you have to face your demons head on. You need to look the man in the mirror every single day. And this applies to everything. It can apply to finances, it can apply to business, it can apply to relationships, it can apply to all those things. If you are hiding away and you aren't willing to stare down where you are currently at, to truly and honestly own that every single day, then nothing will change. Because if you aren't aware of where you are, how can you make a change for the better? Because if you don't know where you currently are, it's impossible. You can't progress forward that way. Because how could you? How could you progress forward if you don't know where you actually are? So that's why we do it this way. That's why we do things that seem difficult, that seem unnecessarily hard. Because it generates this value on a whole different level that you haven't seen before, that you aren't aware of. And the value comes from difficulty. It comes from overcoming obstacles. It comes from taking on challenges that seem impossible and winning the fucking day. And then doing that every single day without fail. Effort and consistency, hands and daylight will trump everything. And I had the comment the other day where someone was like, yeah, but it's not a magic pill that you can just take. Not in the physical sense, but yeah, there is. You just fucking decide that today I'm going to give effort and I'm going to be consistent. And tomorrow I'm going to give effort and be consistent. And the next day. And you just take it one day at a time and you fucking stack your wins. And you win day after day after day after day. That's fucking it. Like, as I said, we keep coming back to this concept that, too many people want to make it easy. It doesn't get any easier than just simply fucking making a decision to give effort and do it every single day. Like, we're not asking you to reinvent the wheel. We're just asking you to fucking keep your word. And do it every single day. But people want to talk about how it's impossible. But I'm sure if we looked at your phone, do you scroll on social media every day? Do you eat the foods that you like every single day? Do you do the things that you enjoy every single day? Pretty much. Even down to alcohol. Do you do that every single week? Maybe you do it every single day. Porn, dopamine addiction, whatever your vice might be. I can guarantee there is something that you enjoy that you don't need to do, that you do every single day. Because you made that fucking decision. You just decided that you like this, therefore you're going to do it every single day. So make the decision that this matters, therefore you're going to do it every single fucking day. It's that simple. It really is that simple. It's not easy, and that's often the gap. Then none of this is fucking easy, but it's simple as shit. Changing your life and achieving the best version of yourself and constantly striving forward is really, really fucking simple. You make a decision and then you follow through. You know what needs to be done and then you follow through. That's it. That's all that's required. The question is whether you can do that. And no, not everybody has those muscles developed. They don't have that discipline, that grit, that fortitude, any of that kind of stuff. No, they don't. So what do? You fucking develop them. Nobody is born with those skills. Nobody just wakes up one day and they're like, oh, look, I'm the most disciplined man I could be. No, they fucking develop them. Through consistency and effort, through hands and daylight, through showing up consistently. That's how they fucking got there. They just made a decision, and day after day after day after day, they kept repeating that decision. That's it. That's all that's required. And you can do that if you choose to. If you so desire to. You've just got to make that decision. And like an alcoholic or a drug addict or anyone who's addicted to it, because let's be real here, you are addicted to the things that don't serve you. I was too, and still am. You take it one day at a time. We aren't focusing on doing the 126 days or, a year or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. We are just focusing on today. Can you win today? Right here, right now. Can you get this shit done? Yes or no? Good, you won the fucking day. And the next day, repeat the process. And just repeat ad nauseum, over and over and over again. This is one of the greatest lost arts that we are lacking in this world, is just the ability to do what is required. Whether we like it or not, regardless of our feelings, we just show the fuck up because that is what is necessary. That is all. It's not complex. It's not difficult. It's just doing what is required. And that's how you win. What separates the greats to the mediocre from those who achieve things in life and those who don't is very simply the ability to do the work, regardless of their feelings. It's to recognize that the difficulty is where the value lies. To show up and do that, knowing that it is difficult, therefore it is valuable. And that's where you gain that from. And I keep coming back to it and I keep talking about it. But the value isn't in the end result. The value is in who you become from overcoming the difficulty. The value isn't getting into the greatest shape of your life, though that has incredible benefits for you. The value is in learning to overcome the difficult things to get into the greatest shape of your life. That's the difference. That who you become along the way, who you become and the skills that you develop and refine as you go through this process is where you gain all the other stuff from. Because it opens up every aspect of your life. As I said, that's the personal develop part that you're looking for. That's the personal develop part that you really want to chase. Because that's where you'll gain everything else from. Because you develop into the man who has those skills. Just as a bonus, you get into incredible fucking shape. You start to show up as the best version of yourself. You start to show up as a man of discipline, of grit, of determination. The six-pack's just a bonus. And as I was going through this journey, that was my goal. And I don't remember when I achieved it, but I remember who I was before undertaking it and how I hated my life. And then I look back at who I am now and the man I've become through overcoming those obstacles, from doing this over and over and over again, regardless of my feelings, regardless of how tired I am, regardless of what I have going on in my life. I get the fucking work done because I said I would get the work done. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And that's what separates. So the question is, are you willing to undertake that? Are you willing to take this on one day at a time? To recognize that the value is in doing the work. The value is in overcoming the difficulties. Because if you are, now's your moment. Shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness daily. Let's start the process. Let's start developing you into the man you know you want to be. And see who you can be on the other side. Now, if you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if you took value from it, if you know someone else who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, subscribe. The majority of people who are listening to this, who are watching this, aren't subscribers. And I'm here every single day, sharing from the front, sharing from my experiences as I go through this journey. So please help me, help you, help the algorithm. Hit subscribe, let them know that this is of value and that you want to keep hearing it, because I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.